you sort of go to the lead up to this moment, Katie, and there's a lot of different ways to look at it. There was the defense of the media. There was the defense of Democrats. There was the calling of those early videos cheap fakes. Don't believe your lying eyes. The president's fine. I mean, there was a lot of that was happening that led up to then the moment on the debate stage where Democrats were in a position to come out and call out his mental acuity and the challenges with it. John Kirby, too, at the White House, we covered it on our program, John. He was challenged by reporters in the room about our allies. Do they have concerns about the mental acuity of the president following that debate performance? And I remember John Kirby said he hadn't heard anything, or he had no reason to believe that they were showing concerns. We're starting to get some of the early statements from some of these world leaders. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz saying Joe Biden's achieved a lot. His decision not to run deserves respect. You know, there's others like the Czech Prime Minister. Again, there's just a lot coming at us and a lot coming in right now. Undoubtedly, this is the decision of a statesman who served his country for decades, calling it a reasonable and responsible decision. Well, I mean, if you're a world leader calling it a responsible decision, did you have concerns before? We were told from this White House they had not heard that. So a lot of that will be looked back on and questioned what they were hearing and when they heard it, Katie.
Well, not only just looking back on it, but also looking at the future and the moment that we're in. I mean, the Democrats who have covered this up, and including the people on the world stage, the people that you're mentioning who never really wanted to come out and say this because it was insensitive or improper or not diplomatic, they put the country into a very dangerous position when it comes to the enemies that are also watching. Those are all allies releasing statements about the current president. But what is Vladimir Putin thinking? What is Xi of China thinking? What is North Korea looking at today? What are the Iranians looking at when they see what is happening? You know, you've heard a lot about chaos and allegations of that for the former President Trump in his current campaign and also his first term. This is pretty chaotic when it comes to the state of the country's commander-in-chief, not to mention the Democratic Party and where they're going to go moving forward, and how those world leaders feel about a potential President Kamala Harris as well. But on that note, you know, we mentioned there are different people, different factions of the Democratic Party endorsing Kamala Harris, not endorsing her. You know, it's interesting to see whether they're going to want to just move forward. Donald Trump was beating Joe Biden, not just because of the mental acuity issue, which of course came to, you know, a height after that debate, because we've been seeing that for months on end, but also on the issues. And in the very states where they need to win, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, is Kamala Harris really the best candidate to speak to Rust Belt voters, especially in places like Michigan, when she's part of an administration shoving this electric car mandate down the throats of workers there? That's something the Trump campaign was able to really capitalize on and take some of those voters away from the Biden campaign. So we're going to see her tested, and they're going to have to look at those very slim number of voters who may be looking at Democrats for a second look after they decided they were not enthused about the former ticket.
Yeah, as you mentioned.